Hey guys, and I was just pulling the maps out here to plan my next trip, hopefully next week, and make use of my 4 days off during the week and the beautiful weather that we've been having. And while I was doing that, I got some of my navigational gear out, and I thought I would make a quick video for you all. Mostly just about the basics of nav, equipment wise, because as you can see, you have a lot to start with. You've got, dedicated GPS units, you've got compasses, mobile phones, GPS watches, and kind of where to start with all that, what to use, what's kind of a little bit overkill, depending on what you're doing, etc. So let's get stuck into that, and yeah, see if you guys find this useful. Let me know. Alright, so let's kind of get it out of the way. Map and a compass, yes, you need to know how to use them. Now, I'm going to put it out there and say it's not really only just in case, all this fancy technology fails. But because it is a little bit more difficult, and let's face it, we don't go out camping because it's the easiest thing in the world to do, it's actually more enjoyable than just kind of walking around following a screen. And I don't know about you guys, but I go out hiking and camping to get away from looking at a screen and getting into nature, and really using a map and a compass makes all of that a lot more enjoyable. Often questions come up like, where can I learn the info to use a map and a compass? How can I go out and practice without doing kind of big epic trips? And, people kind of want to learn with other people, with your friends, with your camping, hiking buddies, etc. And often that can be kind of hard. So let me share with you a little bit of information to make life a little bit easier. First and foremost, there's so much information out there, even on just YouTube. Just search, basics of navigation, learning to navigate, tips on navigating, etc. And you can go down the YouTube rabbit hole of, all these navigational videos and become quite theoretically competent, learning all the buzzwords like azimuth, back bearing, resection, all that kind of stuff, and getting a grasp on how to use the map and the compass. But then obviously practicing. So that's really what's the most important thing, is taking all that theory and putting it into practice. Now you can go out and do all these fancy trips, etc. But often navigation, it's not really going to be the sole focus of that trip, where sometimes it needs to be. And that's where road gaining comes in. Road gaining is a sport. It's the races from, the kind of basic 3-hour races to 24 hours to 48 hours. You can get 6 hours, 9 hours. There's usually different lengths depending, out there. So depending on your level. And you can walk for that period of time. I recently did my first 24-hour race with a friend, and we did no running. We were trying to pace ourselves, and it's all about navigation. So you can run around like crazy, but if your navigation isn't on point, you're not really gonna do well, because you just have a map, you have a compass, you have all these waypoints which are worth different amounts of points, and you got to plot the best possible route, and it really forces you to nail your navigation and get really competent with it. And you do it in teams, usually between 2 and 5. So you're hiking, your camping buddies, you can all do it together as a team, and all get competent, get familiar, and get used to navigating with just a map and a compass. So check those out. They're really, really worthwhile doing. They're pretty cheap. You only really need, like I said, you need your own compass. You can hire a compass. They give you a map as part of the entry, and this is turning into a promotional video for Rogaine races. So I'll stop there, but definitely check them out. The next kind of thing is, really, if I've got 3 other ways of navigating here. I've got a dedicated GPS unit, a GPS watch, and a phone. Now, 3 different bits of kit. They don't weigh too much. They don't take up too much room. Surely not all 3 are going to fail. And you know what? Probably not. But let me tell you something. This costs a couple of $100, and then if you want maps for that's another $100, $200. Why? Unless you're doing a serious kind of trip in really harsh environments, then fine, maybe take a GPS. I brought this quite a few years ago to use on my bike and also to use on trips because, you know, phones weren't really up to scratch then to use as GPS units, and I wanted something which was easy to use, and that's really why these things are good, because they are easy to use and you can often and really easily mark waypoints if you come across a familiar campsite, and then share it with your friends so they can go and check out the same place. But GPS units, really expensive, and really they don't do anything more apart from being tougher than phones. Now, I use a app called Pocket Earth. I think it's only on Apple stuff, but there are heaps of apps out there, well worth checking out in the App Store, all the different types and what has the best coverage in your area, and really just using those. Most of them are free, and you can save like waypoints. I can take photos and load them in, and again share them with my friends, and it just makes life a lot easier. Battery wise, I carry a 10,000 milliamp battery, and I'm not using this constantly. Like, I've got it in my pocket if I really want to check where I am quickly, which is going to be a lot quicker than a map and a compass. I can open up the app and have a quick look. If I want to save a location, again, take a photo, I can do that. With GPS watches, recommend that you treat them as a backup rather than a primary source of navigation. The screen's often quite small. They're good just to kind of be on in the background and track your progress. That's what I use my Fenix 3 for. I don't ever use it as a primary source of navigation, but it's there if I want to. I know the new Fenixes, you can get the little map on there and stuff, but you know, again, if you really want to use the GPS, just use your phone. They're easy. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Take the time, and rather than investing a couple of $100 in this, invest that time and that money. Get yourself a decent compass, go to some classes, spend the money on entry fees into the Rogaine races, get your friends involved, go out and practice learning to use a compass and a map. But don't neglect technology. You know, you've got awesome GPS watches as a backup, and also you've got the technology in phones, which is quite amazing with heaps of apps out there. So definitely check those out. So if you really want to get a dedicated GPS unit, then go for it. But honestly, I think these days they're a bit of a waste of money. So that's all I have to say on the topic. Thanks as always for watching. Hope you got something out of it. And see you guys in the next video. Happy trails.